Say the N word. Go on.
No. Don't invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it.
Marc Lamont Hill has been on podcasts where the N-word has been used. Marc Lamont Hill uses the N-word when he talks to other people. Marc Lamont Hill probably listens to music where they use the N-word every single day of his life, all the time, every angle, every situation they use the N-word. But the mere idea that a white woman is going to use it makes him frazzled. Shinergy is actually live. It's 5 years in the making, 3 years in formulation, and I don't even know I'm like in shock that we finally got it in production. All of our staff are now mandated to drink Shinergy. I'll just play it. No, but for real, if they want an energy drink, they got to drink Shinergy. Can't bring nothing else up in this building. But it's an incredible product, all natural product. If you take the day and the night together, that's when you get complete energy, which a lot of energy companies don't want to tell you because they need you to be tired so you can have to use their energy drinks. But we want you to get a great night's sleep so you wake up with energy and also have sustainable energy and focus throughout the day. A bunch of natural ingredients. We use ashwagandha, magnesium, melatonin in the night drink. And we use a bunch of other nootropics in the day drink that will give you clean, sustainable energy. No crashing, none of that bull crap. Just straight quality energy. And eventually I'm gonna put my formulator on here because I think that we need to give him a shout out because I want to introduce you guys to him. Like, we don't private label this stuff. We had it formulated from scratch. I mean, we talked to a person. I said I need it to be like this. I need it to taste good. I need it to have efficacy. I want all of the best supplement products and vitamins you can put in an energy drink that can give you good energy without screwing you over. So make sure you go to shinergylife.com, shinergylife.com. And for everybody else that purchased and pre-order, when you get it, taste it, and leave a review. Give us a 5-star if you believe it's 5-star worthy. All right. The most asinine reaction that I've ever seen from a grown man with the potential of somebody using the N-word. Marc Lamont Hill is the most ignorant, ridiculous, educated person I've ever heard of in my life. I used to respect Marc Lamont Hill. I went to the Black Police Officer Summit, a National Police Officers Association Summit or something like that. I went to it when I was a cop. I think I was like 2 or 3 years on the police department, and Marc Lamont Hill was the keynote speaker in Philadelphia. If anybody was at that place or Marc Lamont Hill see this, you'll know that I ain't making this up. He spoke. He was charismatic. I thought he was smart. He was educated. Brother was in his 30s. I say, man, I want to be like Marc Lamont Hill one day. And now look at us. This guy is an absolute crazy. I remember when he was on Candace Owens' show, and Candace asked him, can a man give birth to a baby? And that fool said, yeah. Can a man have a menstrual cycle? And that dude said, yes.
And men give birth.
Sometimes. That's my answer. Yes.
And the answer, that is crazy. And this is, we cannot, it's just crazy. We cannot allow this to happen.
But you wouldn't say the definition of being a woman is the ability to give birth.
And I'm not saying it, but only women can give birth.
Black people ain't never been for that foolery that he for. Now watch him melt down on Piers Morgan's show because the young lady next to him might say the N-word. And mind you, Marc Lamont Hill has been on podcasts where the N-word has been used. Marc Lamont Hill uses the N-word when he talks to other people. Marc Lamont Hill probably listens to music where they use the N-word every single day of his life, all the time, every angle, every situation they use the N-word. But the mere idea that a white woman is going to use it makes him frazzled. Roll the clip.
You've been so unashamedly proud of being a racist today, proud of using the N-word whenever you feel like it. You've had a bit of time to think about this. Is that how you want people to leave this panel debate, with thinking of you as a disgusting racist?
I don't really care what people think about me. As long as you care about what people think about you, you have no power and you lose your country. What I care about is freedom of speech. And if you're not allowed to say the most offensive things in this country, you do not have freedom of speech. I don't care what anybody says. So that's the main crux of this situation. That's what I care about with this situation. It is, we have lived for far too long in a country where you can have your life destroyed. And people say, oh, she doesn't need this money. Her life's destroyed, by the way. She'll never be able to get another job. She's got children to have to support. And I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way, black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly. And you will
Well, go
not
on then,
have
say it.
Hold on.
Say
you
the
will
end.
not.
He's trying to compel her to say the N-word. Here's what a flip out finna happen. But let me give some context here. That young lady, I don't follow her anymore because I think she go too far sometimes. I almost think to a certain degree she's borderline being racist when she says certain stuff. I'm just keeping it real. I talked to her. I tried to give her some advice about the language and stuff she used on her podcast. And she listened to me for a short period of time, and then she continued to cuss and do all this stuff. And I know that by doing that, your platform is not going to grow as much as it could because you lose people on your messaging when you curse and you're derogatory and you're a female. It's just not going to happen. If you look at the biggest females in the game, Candace Owens don't cuss on her platform. Tommy Lahren don't cuss on her platform. You know, anybody you name that's a prominent female figure don't cuss on their platform. And that's because you're not palatable when you cuss like that. People can't share your content and all that other stuff. And you get demonetized and all you know it. I had to say I'm not saying I support this girl because I don't know what she's saying now because I hadn't followed her in a while. But what I will say is that I think that it is important for us to have freedom of speech. I think it is important for people to be able to say what they want to say. You can use racial terms against Jews, blacks, and if you say whatever you want to say. That don't mean there's not consequences for what you say, meaning that if you are working for me and you saying racist stuff against people, I don't want you in my job. It's a private business. I'm going to fire you. I don't want people like that here. If you are a racist and you saying racist stuff and you're derogatory against women and whatever you're doing and you work for me, you fired. You done. Now you can do whatever you want to do in the real world, but working for me, there's consequences. And so will there be consequences in other areas. However, that doesn't mean that you can't say it. That doesn't mean if you can't say the N-word. That doesn't mean you can't say all these other terms. You have the freedom in America to say and think what you want. You do not have to like people. You do not have to respect people. But just know two things. Just because you can do it don't mean you should. And just because you do it don't mean there's not consequences. If I walk up to a woman and I call her a B, I should be able to say that. But if her husband hit me with a 2-piece and a hot pepper, I can't be shocked. A man can go up to a black person. I don't recommend you do this. And you can get in his face and say, you in. Now, getting in his face could be considered assault in many states. But just say that you weren't assaulting him, you get in his face, say the end. Now, he hit you in the eye and knock you unconscious and stomp you out. That's on you. But that doesn't mean you can't say words. Now, he'll get in trouble, but that you still got knocked out. But let me finish this before I go off on a rant, roll the clip.
Go on, say the N-word. Go on.
No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you all very much.
Here you go. Keep him on the screen. You know how stupid that is? Marc Lamont Hill, a grown man, hopefully with responsibilities, is literally flashing out on Piers Morgan because the possibility of a white woman using a word that he probably uses every day and that he listens to every day. But the mere idea of a white woman uttering a word is going to make him so offended that he don't even want her to speak on the show. And then this fool not only cried about her using a word, he called another black man. Oh, Jesus of Nazareth. He called another black man a racial derogatory term. He literally called the only other black person on the panel Uncle Tom. Bro, make this make sense. You so offended and hurt if the white girl says the N-word, but you're not hurt that you targeted your own brother, another black man, with a derogatory, hateful, divisive term. And that makes sense to him and other people who act like him. Because I saw the blogs. I looked on the little blogs, little black blogs, And they like, yeah, he cooking. Yeah, he showed him. Yeah, he put him in his place. It's like, wait a minute, y'all serious? Now I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up, I promise. Show me white people acting like this. Show me a white person on a panel. I swear I'll give you $1,000. Show me a white person on a panel and the potential that a black man may say the C word. Y'all know what C word, the saltines. Y'all know what that, y'all know. I don't want to say it. It's not as offensive as the N word, but I don't want to say it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You eat them, whatever. If show me a white person on there that's an activist that use the word every day, that listens to other white people use the word, but get mad at a black man for trying to use the word, but then insults another white man with a slur. Show me white people doing this, and I'll shut up, and I won't make a video for a week, and I'll give a lucky winner $1,000. You ain't never gonna do it. I will say $1 million because I know it ain't never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. This is delusion and people who are out of touch with reality. And Marc Lamont Hill, if you listening, you should be ashamed of yourself, bro. I don't know what LGBTQ spirit you done got on you, but you done lost your mind. You're soft, ignorant, and you're calling other black men names while complaining about the white girl. And Myron, although Myron and I don't agree with everything, I think that Myron, him putting the N-word, I guess that flag said the N-word on it. Let me tell you this. This would have been an interesting scenario. She was gonna say the N-word, right? I'm assuming with a hard R. Maybe she'll say the A. She said the A, I think, on some of her stuff because she was trying to be cool. But just say that she was going to say it. What would have been funny is that if she didn't say it, but the other black guy said it, I would have loved to have seen what Marc Lamont Hill, how he would have reacted to it. And let the black man use the hard R, and then let her not say it at all. See how Marc Lamont Hill would answer. Would Marc Lamont Hill have a problem if a black man used the hard R? He looked at him and said, I'm calling you a N. Versus the white girl just saying a word. She's not calling Marc Lamont the N. She's just uttering a word. I would have loved to have seen that play out. I would have loved to have seen that play out. But let's move on to the next topic.